What's up, everyone? Welcome to this podcast that I've not yet come up with a name for. I didn't have enough time yet, but my name is Ron Alfaro. I'm here. This is going to be episode number 2, and I am here with my battle buddy, Stacy. Stacy from Seattle, Washington, I believe.
Mhm.
So, Stacy, welcome to the
Thank
show.
you. I'm so glad to be here. It's exciting.
Yeah, very much so. So Stacy's my battle buddy, and for those of you who don't know, Um, Pace Mowbray is a mentor of ours. We're in 2 different courses here, but there's something that we have in common, and that's that we're part of Project Forward. And basically, that is it's a way to help build. Pace is kind of showing us to like help with our getting ourselves out there, our branding kind of thing. But it's only for action takers. So if you don't know about it, sorry, a little too late to get in. But okay, Stacy. So tell us a little bit about yourself. So you're living in the Pacific Northwest.
The great
Have you always
Pacific.
lived there? Did you grow up there?
Now, I grew up in a suburb of Chicago, Northbrook, and came
Love
out
Chicago.
for college. Yeah, I was just back there. My high school was the home of Ferris Bueller Day Off and Breakfast Club. That was
Wow,
at my high school. Yep, that's my claim of fame.
nice.
I don't have
And
much fame.
no, that's okay. So, how did you discover Pace Morby? Because you're a sub 2 student.
I am. I'm a sub two student, and I had a job, a W-2. I worked at Amazon for 7 years, and my son, who is Logan, is was in high school and was following Pace, and always telling me about it. But I was like, I don't know about these YouTube folk, and kind of, didn't pay too much attention to it, but he's really convincing. And then I got laid off in the big tech layoff in January. So,
Oh,
what a blessing to be able to focus on something, start a business with my son, and away we went. It's sub two. We joined sub two in March, and sub two is it stands for subject to, and the goal is to teach you creative financing and how to buy real estate, either through seller financing or subject to. And subject to is taking over someone's mortgage for them,
right.
um, and seller financing is paying them a certain amount if there's equity in the house, on a monthly basis versus giving them the entire amount and getting a conventional loan. But also any way of buying real estate. He gives you the tools, he gives you the contracts. It's sounding like a commercial now for him, but it is been a great experience for us. 6 months ago, I wouldn't have even thought of putting down or putting in an offer for a $10 million portfolio, in the Midwest, and we did, and we didn't get it, but we have made the connections that we need for, not only figuring out how to offer in a subject to manner, but also
Hmm.
how to get DSCR lending as well as private money lenders for the down payment, so we have zero down. Um, so I'm doing things that I never thought I would do or feel like I could do, and I'm thrilled because I'm at an age now that it's like either I go back to a tech job and, you know, wheeled away every day at, in a job, and until I retire, or do something super fun at my own pace, at my own time, still get some passive income, and,
Be your own boss.
yeah, be your own boss. Well, my son's my boss, but yeah.
I find it very interesting. One thing you said there, I don't want to skip by, but you said your son was the one that discovered Pace first before you, and you said in high school.
In high school. So he is
Wow.
the visionary. Yeah. I'm definitely the integrator. He's the visionary. If you ever read Rocket Fuel, that's where that comes from. But he's very smart, but he
Oh my
only
God.
likes, yeah, what happened?
I think my light just went out or something. Let me move
Okay.
locations real quick. Hope it wasn't the power of the whole house.
Oh my. Well,
That's
this is
really
still working now.
maybe it was just the light bulb that went out in the room that I was in.
Wow.
Nice. That's gonna make well for this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're
Can you
like,
hear me well still?
yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, my son is 17, was really interested in real estate. He's very forward thinking. He's not great academically. I mean, he did great in school, but he hated
Right.
it. And
Yeah,
so college
I can
wasn't
relate.
going to be the way for him. And he doesn't understand paying all that money for to get a job when he could be his own boss. And so I'm encouraging that only because, and it's hard for me because I was I always thought he'd go to college. I went to college, and it's just I never thought anything of it. But he's right. It teaches you to get a job versus thinking on your own and trying different things. And he's great at this, and he knows it way better than I. So he introduced me to Pace on YouTube, and we signed up for his mentorship, took his course, and Pace is an amazing go giver, and so he not only gives you just
Is
this
the
like
ever.
few week course, but he has all this bonus material: how to talk to agents, how to talk to sellers, how to like samples upon samples and contracts and everything you need to buy real estate. And we started with wholesaling, and they kind of teach you that. We went all in on that. We got a virtual assistant. We did all this, and it was fun. But I wasn't. We were in the Seattle market, um, which is phenomenal. It's just super expensive.
Right.
And so, but we wanted to be close to home. But I really wasn't loving wholesaling. So we're like, well, we know enough people now. I think we could buy. And our goal was always to buy in the Midwest. And so, sure enough, we started putting in bids to portfolios and to single family houses in Detroit and Ohio and Kansas City. And a lot of times, we had one purchase agreement in this last month that once we did the inspection, there was a tree growing out of the foundation. And so we were like, on foundation issues. So we backed out of that one. And then we got outbid by a bunch of investors. I guess,
This is why having an inspection period is important.
Yes. So, but the bid,
That's okay.
the bid, we keep getting outbid. And so we're really worried, but we found this great broker, and she just found us a house in Detroit, a duplex that a buyer backed out of. And so before it went back on the market, we got it. Well, we're under contract. So closing is in a month, so wish us luck. But
Fingers crossed. Best of luck on that.
It's starting, Ron.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: before meeting or discovering Pace Morby and what he teaches in the Sub-2 program, did you know anything about creative financing?
Nope.
Had you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I didn't know enough. And
Okay.
My son told me about it, but I'm like, that doesn't sound legal.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of people's first impression.
Yeah.
If they've never heard of that. I'm not in Sub-2, not yet. It is a goal of mine, but the creative side of real estate, creative financing, which you were saying, subject to seller financing, and there's so much more to that as well. Like you can get into wraps and everything.
Yeah.
It is so fascinating to me. Like I used to think, real estate investment was like just renting out properties or something. There's like a whole nother dimension, so many more layers to this. It's honestly incredible. And Pace's programs, his courses, you learn so much.
Learn so much.
And the community is the most helpful thing too. I'm sure you can attest to that with the Sub-2 community.
The Facebook group, hands down, the best thing I've been a part of on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, been a long time. And it's just everyone's wanting to help. And Pace makes this community want to give. He promotes it, he shows it, he demonstrates it. And so you're like, well, how can I help you? I want to help Ron, be successful. Because ultimately it comes back, right? It's karma, and it's a way of networking, and something will happen. And so we've been really fortunate with the people we've met. I haven't had a bad experience with anyone yet.
Right.
I know there's some bad eggs because it's getting big. But even in this program that you and I are part of, this Project Forward, he only took 1,000 of his 17,000 students, and we're tight now. We're on.
Yeah. And
We're connected, and
as Pace said himself, like by the end, like this is going to be an ongoing thing for quite some time. I don't have a clue when this will end, but
yeah,
Pace said that 1,000 people that you said will
yeah,
go down to 200
yeah,
because only the action takers will move forward with it. And I think that's very important. He's
yeah,
weeding out the people who are not taking action. And no matter, like, I'm an Astro as well with Jamil. The
yeah,
really important thing is you have to take action.
yeah,
You're not gonna like make anything happen. You're not going to learn by just studying and watching the videos and doing the trainings. You have to take action. There's no other way around it.
yeah.
And networking is huge, huge.
It's huge. So we have local meetups, and the ones I've been to have been anywhere from 15 to 60. It's just been, and it's all about real estate and all about people who want to help you and get to know them and like, oh, what do you do? And oh, how can I help you? And I can't wait to be in a position where I can help more and more people. Right now we're sort of infants and we're growing and learning. But compared to 6 months ago, God, we know so much more. And I feel just blessed to be a part of it and to be doing it with my son. I mean, we meet every day and we talk about it constantly. It's real estate. It's our passion. And I hope we can build the portfolio and the kingdom that we want.
I love that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
And you
I
said your
do.
son's name is Logan, because shout out to
Logan.
him for
Yeah,
having this interest and this mindset at such a young age.
I
I,
know.
I
So
was like the complete opposite of that. I
me
was
too.
thinking about anything but my future when I was in high school.
Thinking about where I can get a fake ID. Yeah, no, this
Yeah, no
is
kidding. Yeah.
he's total opposite of me, and I love it because
Yeah.
growing. I feel like when you have kids, they think you know everything, and now we're at a point where he's like, I don't think you know anything, Mom, but but I obviously I have the business acumen, and I've been in business and corporations for a while, and so it's just a really good symbiotic relationship. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes. And really, we've pivoted a couple times, and we may pivot again because now we're thinking about sober house living, and
Mm.
so Logan's really invested in that, investigating that, and seeing where we can go with that. I'm dealing with this deal right now, and so like I'm just amazed. And we were at a point at one point, and I'm sorry, I'm taking over your question time.
No. This is good. Yeah.
Yeah, we were at a point where we were like, we can find a DSCR lender, but we couldn't find a DSCR lender that would um, lend us money under $100,000. And I swear to God, we've called everyone. We've reached out to so many people in the community, and we're like, this is where we give up because all the houses in the Midwest that we want to buy and that would cash flow for us were about $80,000 to $90,000. And then just when we thought we were going to give up, we made one more call and we hooked up, and then we found another one, and then we found another one. It's just like Alex Hormozy does this thing where it's like it's a crisis of failure as you get to a point, and then most people like go, "Oh, I can't get
Right.
that hump," and so they fail. But you have to work past that, and
Right.
I've been
That's exactly what you did.
yeah, yeah, and so we've got great connections now. The deal hasn't gone through yet, but I'm really hopeful, and I think it's just the
So this
start.
was a hard money loan lender you found that will lend below 100,000.
No, it's a DSCR, which is hard.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we did find some hard money that would do 50,000 with a low. Um, I think our costs are going to be about 10,000 for the rehab, but that's really hard too to find
Right.
that and getting a good LTV, loan to value ratio. So we want 90/10. For the DSCR, we got 80/20 at 8%, we think, and that's phenomenal in this
Yeah, no
market. I
kidding.
know it sounds high, but if you're still cash flowing,
Yeah.
and we're conservative on our numbers.
So you mentioned you were starting to look into, or I think you said your son was starting to look into the sober living.
Yeah.
Is that something that Pace is teaching also inside Sub
he,
2?
he has some things there for that. And he's got quite a bit. So whenever you buy real estate, there's several exit strategies, right? You can
For sure.
group home, short term. This is for your audience. Medium term. It's like there's so many options that to make money, and if one doesn't work, another one might. So sober living or group homes. We may not do sober, but we kind of were interested in veteran transitional housing, things like that, and he found another mentorship on group homes alone that he's learning, but Sub 2 does have a lot, and there's a lot of people that in Sub 2 that do sober house. So in fact, I'm going to interview someone tomorrow on my podcast.
I was about to say, you should probably
Yeah.
connect with one of them for sure.
Yes, I've got a couple people lined up, and I'm super excited to learn more. But in sober and group homes, you can buy or even rent a house and rent out 2 or 3 people per room at $600 to $1,000 person,
Right.
dollars per person. They're getting it from either charities or the government or Social Security or whatnot. But it's an interesting model, and I think
For sure.
Pat's a lot like that, right? Is you get
I was about to bring that up.
yeah, and you rent out the rooms like for college students.
I don't know a whole lot about Pad Split, but I have seen a little bit on the videos, just a little bit of it. It's an interesting concept how they're like creating more rooms and bathrooms in there to get more people in the house and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that would work really well, like in a college town,
Yes, perfect. That's how I lived in college. Yeah, is rooming with people, and sometimes they were strangers, and you're like, you're all paying. It's brilliant. I love it, and Logan's figured out a way that we can do it without having to buy, because we want to do it in Seattle, which is super expensive. Average house, median house is like 500,000, 700,000. It's stupid. And
I think it's like half of that over here, or a little less.
Yeah,
but
and rents here are like $3,500. It's crazy for a 1-bedroom. It doesn't make sense.
That's insane.
So you can actually rent houses if you can, work with the landlord, pay them over market, and then rent out the rooms. And then you can get enough money to get your, money down payment to buy homes. So that's our current thinking, but who knows where we'll pivot. But Pace even just had a post in Facebook about, don't get stuck with one idea and just go with it. There's so many options. You don't know what you're going to be great at or excel at. And he promotes finding your avatar, what you're good at. Like, you're a spiritual coordinator. If that's your path, there's a lot of money to be made there. If there's, you might be a closer, someone that can work with wholesalers or wholesaling. And
I love that, because if you stick to one strategy alone, one path, and don't try to learn a little bit more about one of the other ones, several other ones that are available, you might not realize that you're actually really good at something else, and you're just putting all your time and effort in one thing that maybe you don't have the best skills for, but there's something else that you qualify, like that you would just excel in. You should definitely like take a little bit of each and kind of see where you think you fit the best. I mean, I think that's extremely smart.
Yeah, like we want to get into Gator like you are, and that's just another way of getting some passive income and making relationships and just growing. And so there's just so much money to be made in real estate in different avenues that I'm just glad to be,
in the game.
In this game, yeah. And
well,
I have anxiety about not having a W-2 right now. And so like, that's just my mentality. And sometimes it's just a mental shift. And was part of Project Forward, right? Where we met is just that
absolutely
whole, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi is trying to get your mind shift to saying, yeah, I am worth more and I can do this. I am smart enough. I am good enough,
Yeah. Mindset is huge. Like you said, I mean, I do have a W-2 job, but like for me, I know that my progress in this is maybe going to be a little bit slower than somebody who doesn't have a W-2 job, because I don't have like 8-10 hours a day that I can put into this. But that's okay, because the little bit of time that I do have now, that's where I'm gonna do my best to take action and to keep networking and to keep learning more. And when the time comes that I can quit my W-2 job,
Yeah.
I'm hitting the ground running. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like glued to I'll go buy a new laptop. I'm gonna be glued to the monitor here. But
Yeah, no, that's what's special about you is that when you're young enough where you can also like, change your whole trajectory of your life, but you're thinking about it, whereas other people your age or around, actually, I don't know how old you are. You might be 100. I don't know.
I'm
I'm just saying
37, I think. Yeah.
is that you're not getting late like I am, where you feel like you should go one way and this feels risky, but you're thinking about it while you're at your W-2. You're doing that. You're listening to podcasts, so it's really cool and impressive that someone can do that at the same time.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, I think you got great things ahead of you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what do you think? What's your ultimate goal in this? Is it financial freedom? Because I feel like that's every investor's ultimate goal. But then I like to think that people have like other smaller goals before reaching that too, because that is kind of like, if that's the ultimate goal, that's maybe not within reach right now or in the near future, right? Because it's going to take a little bit of time to build that wealth.
Yeah.
But like, what are some of your smaller goals that you have that you're hoping to achieve from doing real estate investment?
Yeah. No, I love that question. One, my son's thinking has always been like, because I always argue like you want to find happiness in what you're passionate about, and that might be, picking up trash or whatever. It's whatever, as long as you're happy. And he's like, no, it's about getting your financial freedom so that you can pursue the happy things. Like I've always wanted to teach, and I've never wanted to do it just because the money. And I ended up getting into tech, and I'm like, yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense. I have a hard time arguing that, but our goal really is we want to do something for others. I really want to give a house to someone who's struggling and be able to get them off the ground and give something back. Another thing I mean, the sober housing, I love the transition. We were almost in on a deal in Kansas City where it was a 10-room house that had individual bathrooms, and we were going to do for veterans transition. It was so sad that it's one thing you have to remember is that you can't hold on to a deal in your mind because there's another deal coming up. But I get attached, so I'm trying to learn to do that. But I love the idea. We were talking to charities, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, that is so needed." And then the other thing is one thing, and I always go back to Logan. Logan told me in high school, he's like, they don't teach you anything useful. They don't teach you financial stuff. They don't teach you how to change a tire. They don't teach you life skills. And I always have a hard time arguing. I was like, no, it's critical thinking and, how to think through a problem, that kind of thing. So what I like to do is take our knowledge, and then we live in a kind of a borderline underserved community, and I would love to take it to the kids that are before they get into gangs and stuff like that, and teach them real estate or teach them how to change a tire, get people in the community to come in and teach and just organize
like some life skills.
Like how to cook an egg. I mean, there's when I was like, I don't even know how to do my laundry.
Trust me, I know exactly what you mean. I work at a body shop, and there's people older than me, there's people around my age, and there's people younger than me. And some of these younger folks, they're very interesting. There's a lot of things that they don't know at their age that I did, and it just kind of blows me away. And I need to remind myself there's a different generation, This is like the social media era kind of thing. That wasn't really a thing when I was growing up. And I don't know, it's very interesting, but I agree with you. There's a lot of things that you just mentioned that should be taught at a younger age. And maybe it's not something you want to pursue. Maybe you don't. Maybe you should learn how to change your own tire, but that doesn't mean that that's a career path you should pursue. But it's good to know, to be able to, I don't know, if I have a flat tire, in the middle of the road, I can take care of that. I can handle that. If I need to do my oil change, but I don't maybe have that much money, I'm a little bit tight on funds, I can do my own oil change instead of, paying for somebody else that's going to be more expensive to do. just simple things,
Exactly.
just simple life things too.
Yeah. Even opening a banking, a checking account. I know people, younger adults that don't have checking savings. I'm like, what? Where's your money? Um, but teaching them the real estate, like that's an option out, even outside of college. Like, pursue education, pursue it for what you want to get out of it. But there's other options for people that don't think there are options, and
Absolutely.
I just
I think
want to
it's
give back.
important. I think it's important that like kids in high school, for example, that I feel like they should understand or be taught that college isn't the only option. Like
Yeah,
there are trade schools as well. There
yeah,
is real estate as well
yeah,
that doesn't require you to go get a degree. Just
yeah.
the idea that everybody thinks you should go to college, I don't think that's the best route for everybody. And
It's
I feel
not.
like a lot of people should learn and understand that,
Yeah,
before they hit 18.
yeah,
But
I agree, and that there's no shame in it.
yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
that there's, and even community college, which is so much cheaper, you can get
100%.
a great education and focus on something that you're really passionate about. But it's not so expensive that you're like, oh shit, I didn't want to be an English major. Now I'm stuck in this $40,000 a year.
Yeah, yeah.
Saying
Stuck
that,
with a
and I have
student loan debt. Yeah.
yeah. So it's, I don't know. I'm passionate about that and helping kids. I would love to do that.
I love
Same way
that.
my kid
And
helped me.
yeah, and that's very fitting that you're in one of Pace Morby's mentorships because he's the ultimate go-giver.
He's the
He's always
ultimate giver.
giving. And
Yeah,
as he as Carly, the administrator, I'm sure she's in sub two as well,
yeah,
but
yeah,
she's we see her a lot in Gator Method, but
yeah,
she always stresses the remember to give more than what you take.
yeah,
And I love that line. Like it has a lot of meaning to it. It's small, those
yeah,
words that she's saying there, but there's
yeah.
so much behind it. So I I fully respect where you're coming from. I love what you said. You're very helpful to others, caring to others. And I feel like that's going to take you with the real estate journey you're on. I feel like that's going to take you to a lot of places.
Thanks. Yeah, I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so.
So,
That's something that's cool.
let me ask you this. So, anybody that's going to be watching this who's not in real estate,
Hmm.
who is thinking about getting into real estate investment, what advice would you give a newbie, if you will?
That's great. I think as networking or mentorships aside, because that does cost some money, is networking. There are free seminars, and go meet other investors, go meet real estate people, go meet realtors, and find out what the different areas of it are.
Mhm.
And so you can make a decision and see what it's like. There's so much information on YouTube. Just watch Pace Morby or Jamil on YouTube, and you'll get a sense. Um,
I couldn't agree
wa-
more.
Watch Ronald. Um, um,
I I agree with everything you said because although the mentorships are great, the communities are great, they do cost money. And I
yeah,
understand, not everybody maybe has the funds early on
yeah,
to do that, but
yeah,
that doesn't mean you cannot learn about this.
yeah,
YouTube is free as long as you
yeah,
have internet or a cell phone at the very least. But
yeah.
YouTube is free. You can get so much information, but you want to make sure you're getting the information from the right people.
Right, right. That is
Pace
key.
Morby, Jamil Damji, Brent
David.
Daniels. You know what those three have in common? They have a live show that they do, Wholesale Hotline, every Monday. I would recommend anybody new
That's good.
who wants to learn about it to go there, watch
Hmm.
that, and get in the live chat that's going on that's full of their students, all three
Yeah,
of their students,
yeah,
TTP students, Astro students, Sub 2, Gators. So I would recommend, like you said, YouTube. And the other thing is networking, like you said. You want to
yeah,
go in person. You want to meet other people. You want to be around people that have the same interests,
yeah,
who have done it, because then they could really guide you. And then from there, you can kind of figure out which path you want to go, whether you're
yeah,
leaning towards wholesaling, whether
yeah,
the creative side is really,
yeah,
piquing your interest. But
yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah.
that's all great stuff.
Everyone who I talk to and say we're in real estate, they're like, "Oh, you're an agent, or you want to be an agent." I'm like, "No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with agents. In fact, I've considered doing that, but you don't need necessarily even that to
That is
be
true.
things. And the best advice I ever got actually was from one of the best advice. My son's father, he always said his motto was always closed mouths don't get fed. And I am kind of a shy person. And so I know it doesn't look like that, but I am. And so I sometimes feel like, oh God, it's a stupid question. And I get on Facebook, I'm like, oh, I'm going to post something and I'm just going to be like ostracized. But I just posted something the other day that I felt like I should know the answer because of all of the training we've already done. And I didn't. And I already made two, I think I hit it off with one of them really well, but two people that are willing to give me 30 grand, you know, and for our deal. And yeah, I just got to keep remembering, like, you know, people could just say no. There's no big deal in that. And that's what I think a lot of people get scared of is I should know this, or I don't know enough, or
This was other sub-2 students?
yeah. But even like when I've gone to meetups with people that aren't out of, you know, sub-2, it's just like there is no stupid question. People do want to help for the most part.
Absolutely.
And want to educate you. They love to talk about what they do, and they love, like, and I've just been going on and on. So you understand. But it's
100%.
you know, just don't have that hold you back. I'm an introvert. I can't do it. You can't do
this also goes back to what Pace says a lot, and that is that he doesn't make money without other people involved.
Yes.
So other people that are in real estate investment, they're looking to help other people. They want to bring value to other people so that they can bring value back too. It all goes full circle, you know. It's everybody showing abundance, and it's honestly incredible.
Yeah. And even
my only regret is not getting into this earlier, like in my 20s or something.
Hello. Thank you. Yeah, and even with Project Forward, people are going limiting beliefs, right? Like we have these ideas that I'm not smart enough. How would I learn real estate? I'm an old woman now. So
we're all learning along this journey.
We're all learning. We never stop learning.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're not a professional podcaster either, right? This is only my second episode. I'm learning along. I mean, I'm thinking I should probably get a mic and headphones eventually, but
I know. I look professional too.
Yeah. But I think this is working all right. Well, Stacy, I want to thank you so much. This has been an absolute joy. We got to learn more about you, what you're focusing on. If you want to tell people how to reach you in case they have a deal or if they have anything that could bring you value in.
That's a good one. Yes, it's Stacy Murtis, it's my name's right there, at StalicoHomebuyers.com. Stalico is STALOCO homebuyers.com. And Stalico, our name is my name, my son Logan's name, and our dog Cody. So Stalico.
Okay, well, I'm a dog lover, so before we go, I'm going to need to know a little bit about your dog. What kind of dog is it?
He is a... Chihuahua mix. Cody. He's so like cute. He's like a deer-legged Chihuahua.
He's adorable.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He is 12. He's an old man.
Aw.
He's got another 40 years in him. Okay. You know me.
He's a little camera shy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Well, that was great. We got a nice little cameo from your dog. I love that.
Cody.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Stacy. And big shout out to your son. I'm very impressed from what I'm hearing from him. Heck, he might be one of my interviews in the future.
I hope so.
Yeah. So this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Stacy.
Thanks so much, Ron.
All right. Bye.
Bye.